Hey again, everybody. This is Comic Book Hangover. It's Thursday, and it's time for my weekly haul, weekly review video. I do this every Thursday. There are a few times where I kind of miss the day and put them out on Fridays, but I try to get them done on every Thursday because consistency is key. This week, we're going to be talking about... I really didn't get a whole lot last week. I think there's only 3 that I can talk about. And then I picked up some books this week at my LCS. Some variant covers, that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm still kind of riding high on seeing Godzilla vs. Kong yesterday. I absolutely love the movie. It gave me everything that I needed. The only thing that I really wish they'd have done differently is maybe had that final fight be a little bit longer, a little bit more in depth. But aside from that, as a lifelong Godzilla fan, I absolutely enjoyed it. Now I'm looking forward to getting some of the Godzilla vs. Kong merch. I want to get a poster. I want to get the books. I want to get some of the Funkos, some of the little figures that I'm seeing. It's a great time to be a Godzilla fan. I'm telling you, we got some really great merch out now for Godzilla. So that aside, and I'm not going to do it. I don't really do movie reviews here, even for movies that I really like Godzilla vs. Kong. Maybe I will, in the future, kind of start branching out on that sort of thing. But that aside, let's talk about some of the books that I picked up last week. Let's talk about the one that I probably liked the least from last week, and that would be Marvel's Alien. It ties in with the movies, which is a plus. It's got some great art, almost too realistic. It's almost got that Greg Land photo tracing thing look to it, and I don't really care for that, but I don't know, it really didn't grab me. It had some great covers. I don't regret buying the covers that I grabbed, but I don't think I want to be sticking with this book. I will try Predator when it comes out, but as far as Alien goes, unless something major happens with it, I'm done with it as of the first issue. Maybe I'll grab the trades later down the road. Maybe I'll grab some books if they have some really sweet covers. I don't know. But as it is, it's not for me. I mean, if you're an Alien fan, if you're a fan of the franchise, you're a fan of the characters, this does have some characters from the movies. Definitely check it out. It might grab you. It didn't grab me, but I'm not saying don't try it. I'm saying this just wasn't for me. If you're a fan, you should definitely give it a shot. Hopefully you'll like it more than I did. One that I did like, though, is Stray Dogs from Image Comics. Now, Stray Dogs, the art style is sort of a Disney-esque style, but the story is more Silence of the Lambs. You got a guy who is actually using dogs to stalk and apparently kill women who also have dogs, and he takes those dogs and he uses them to get more women. We still really haven't seen the guy's face in full, and the dogs... and this is where the Disney, like I said, it's got the Disney art style, but the dogs also talk to each other. And there's this thing where they have short-term memory, so they don't remember a whole lot unless something triggers that memory. And they're sort of starting to piece things together. So this is only, I think, a 5-issue miniseries, but this is really a fascinating read. I enjoyed the first issue and figured, what the heck, I'll check out the second issue, and man, I'm digging this. I'm digging this book. I could definitely see, as much as I hate farming out great comic books to other media like TV or movies or something, I could definitely see this being maybe a Netflix or a Paramount Plus or something, an animated. It would have to be animated. That's the only way it would work because of the style of the story. But if you're looking for something different, if you're looking for something drawn in the vein of My Little Pony or Disney, but you want more mature storytelling, this is definitely a book to check out. First issue, I believe, is still available. I think they put out the second print this week. Second issue just came out this week. There's a couple of variant covers. I stuck with this one because this is the one that matches the first issue. I definitely recommend it. I mean, this is a really great read. I mean, I really loved it. The last one I picked up, really not a whole lot to say about it. Power Rangers number 5, awesome cover. Probably my favorite cover so far of this series, but it's still a fun read. I mean, there's really not much more I can say about it that I haven't already said. I'm enjoying getting it every month. I am enjoying the characters. We're getting into characters, villains, and whatnot from the other Power Rangers. This series here, Pyro Rangers, actually covers the Omega Rangers, with Jack, Drainian, and Zach, Trini, and Jason, the original black Yellow and Red Rangers, respectively, from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series. They're in outer space. They're now the Omega Rangers, so super strong Rangers. And they're trying to prevent the destruction of planets by these things called the Empiricals or the Imperials. But it's a great series. It's a lot of fun. It's Power Rangers on a major scale. And yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot more I could say about it that I haven't already said, because the series has been a lot of fun. It's been really, really great read. I've absolutely enjoyed it. Now this week, I did pick up a couple of books. Some of these are variant covers because, what the heck, why not? And also, surprisingly, this was a very Marvel-heavy week for me. I have not had this many books. I think there's only one book in this stack that is not a Marvel book. I haven't had that in I don't know how long. It's been months since I've had a week where Marvel has dominated my stack. So let's check this out. So this is the Curse of the Man-Thing. This is Avengers Curse of the Man-Thing. This is a little mini event of sorts they're using to celebrate, I believe, the 50th anniversary of Man-Thing, one of my favorite characters from the 70s. I absolutely love this character. But the thing is, though, is this is a 3-issue miniseries, sort of a mini event, but it's not Curse of the Man-Thing Avengers. Is actually Avengers, and then the next one is going to be like Spider-Man Curse of the Man-Thing, and then I don't know what the other one's going to be. So instead of giving Man-Thing top billing in the series that's celebrating his anniversary, he gets secondary billing to these other characters, which if you put your books in alphabetical order by what's on the cover, it's going to screw everything up. So I don't know how I'm going to put this in my box. But I grabbed this cover because this cover here reminded me of the original 70s covers. This to me is Man-Thing. He doesn't talk, he doesn't have feelings. Even referring to Man-Thing as he is kind of inaccurate. I mean, Man-Thing has always been represented as it doesn't have a mind, it doesn't have emotions or feelings of its own. It's a reactionary force of nature. And I always felt that the best way to refer to Man-Thing is it, because that's what it is. It doesn't even really know that it exists in some of the best stories. And if you want some really good stories, you need to go back and get the 70s stuff. That's also where Howard the Duck was introduced, was because of Man-Thing. So I'm really looking forward to jumping on that one. I'm hoping that it lives up at least somewhat to the standard that was set back in the 70s for Man-Thing. Next up, always good to have this, although I've not been reading this whole King in Black thing. I read the first issue of it, had no interest in it. It just wasn't for me. I'm not a big fan of Donny Cates, as I've said many times here. He's just not for me. I'm not going to use my channel to bring down things that I don't like. He just isn't for me. I understand people love him, and that's great. He apparently is doing an amazing job on Venom. Even though I don't really care, I didn't care for King of Black. I don't really care for his Thor. I'm going to drop it after the next issue because I want to wrap up the storyline. But he did a great job in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I will thank him for that, for taking the Guardians of the Galaxy back from being a joke because of the movies and taking them back to the way they should be. So I respect him for that, but I just don't really like a lot of his other stuff, and it's almost like he's kind of getting too big for his britches, like he's getting high off of his own popularity. But this one here I had to pick up, even though it's part of King of Black. It's also Ghostwriter, and this is one of those things that kind of reminded me of something from the 90s, and I'll get into that next week when I cover this book. So I grabbed that one, and also from Marvel, and also because I miss the 90s. I miss the days when comic books looked like comic books, where we didn't have to have realism. We used comic books to escape from reality. And that's what I miss. That's the one thing I miss more than anything else about modern day comics, especially superhero books. Everything's got to be based in reality. Everything's got to make sense. Like, no, dude is crawling on walls. This guy over here is flying. Somebody that breathes underwater. This guy here's got claws that pops out. This guy turns into a big green monster. We don't need realism. Let's just have some fun. So that's the main reason why I'm picking up X-Men Legends. I got the second issue here. Really gonna look forward to enjoying and reading that. This is another Marvel book. Surprise, surprise. Actually, big surprise. This is variant cover. The Stormbreaker, which that Man-Thing cover was a Stormbreaker cover. This is the Stormbreaker cover for Beta Ray Bill. Now, not the best cover of the bunch, but this is also one of the only covers of the bunch that had Lady Sif on it. I am a huge fan of Lady Sif. I really wish that this is a character that got more attention. She's actually one of the only ones in the movie that I thought was properly cast, but she was just not treated as well as she should have been. I mean, they did this Valkyrie character who's unnecessary. You know, they got this new Lady Thor, who in the comic book's great. I read the series. I've got a poster around here somewhere of Jane Foster Thor. I really enjoyed the run. But Sif, man, she needs to have something. They got to do something with her. She's always been one of my favorite characters. So my only non-Marvel book that I grabbed this week from Boom Studios, Power Rangers Unlimited Heir to Darkness. And this actually kind of ties in with the Power Rangers series right now. It's got some characters in here that are in there. This is the origin. This is where it all begins for these two specific characters, and I'm looking forward to checking this one out. She... Andromeda, I think her name is. I could be way off on that. I haven't read the Power Rangers one. I know she shows up in there, but she was in... I kind of stopped watching it during Power Rangers in Space, I think, and I don't think she really showed up in that. So I don't know too much about this character or the dude with the green lines on his face. I'm not really too sure who these people are. I'm very much looking forward to learning about them because they look amazing. I love them. And the final book that I picked up this week was a variant cover. And of course, it was for Ghostwriter because I am a huge Ghostwriter mark. And if it's Ghostwriter, it's well known that I do not care for Robbie Reyes because he's not a ghost writer. He's a ghost driver. He drives a car, and he's not a spirit of vengeance. I don't know what his deal is, but he's not a Ghostwriter, and I've never had an interest in that character. This is a Ghostwriter, Flaming Skull, motorcycle, great stuff. But now this is a great cover too. And again, you know, as I always say, Robbie Reyes, not one of my favorite characters, but if you like him, great. I mean, if that's the character that gets you into the comic book shop, if that's the character that gets you to look at the racks and you pick up his book or any book that he's in, I think he's in Avengers now, and then you see another book that you like and you end up picking that up too, that's a win. If you're in that shop, even if you pick up a book because Robbie Reyes is in it, that's a win. So I guess what I'm saying, I'm going to get on my little soapbox here that I haven't done this in a while, but I see this a lot in some of the Facebook groups I'm in where somebody posts a book or talks about a character that they like and other people don't like him. They just kind of pile on why they don't like this character. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if somebody else likes the character that you like or not. You like that character, and you will find, even though you're going to deal with a bunch of crap from people, you will eventually find another person who likes that character. And even if you don't, it doesn't matter. If that's the character that gets you into that comic book shop every week, if that's the character that gets you on dcbservice.com and makes you put together your pull list every month to get your books, that's what makes that character important. That character is important to you. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if Joe Blow on Facebook doesn't like the character. I've got a lot of characters that I love. The other people's like, what the hell do you like that guy for? You know? Forbish Man, Irving Forbish from What The? I love that character. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. Guy's got a saucepan on his head and a towel for a cape. All right? But I like the character. I've always been a huge fan of Darkhawk. And Darkhawk gets a lot of crap from people. But Darkhawk means a lot to me. He's one of my favorite characters. I don't care if I'm the only person that likes him. He's one of my favorites. And characters like Sleepwalker, Terror from Terror Inc., all right, Lobo. I like some of these fringe characters, and it doesn't matter to me if other people like him or not. If they don't like him, that's fine. Don't pile up on me. And don't worry if they pile up on you. If you like that character, that's you. You own that. That's your favorite. I mean, I've got thousands and thousands of comic books in my collection right now, and it's all because of Ghostwriter. And Ghostwriter led me into Darkhawk. The Infinity Gauntlet got me into the Silver Surfer, and my LCS introduced me to stuff like Flaming Carrot and Herbie the Fat Fury and Pete the Peeled Postal Worker. Just there's some great books out there, and there's books for everybody else. So yeah, I'm not really sure my point here is, other than the fact that I am getting tired of some of the rampant negativity that I am seeing in Facebook groups and online, on Instagram, on Twitter, where people are just taking it upon themselves to trash other people because they like stuff that, that the one person doesn't like. I don't care if you like something or not. That's why I say in my reviews here, if I don't like something, that's on me. That has nothing to do. I don't like Robbie Reyes. I don't like Donnie Cates. Okay. I don't like Dan Slott. There's other creators and there's other characters that I don't like, but that's fine. I don't have to like them. If you like them, if you're a huge Dan Slott fan, if you're as big of a fan of him as he is of a buffet down the street, that's great. That's awesome. That means you're buying his books. That means you're buying comic books. You're supporting the industry. I don't care who you're supporting, as long as you're supporting the industry. That's what matters. That's what's important. I'm beginning to think maybe I should start doing these as separate videos. This is supposed to be about my comic books, and I end up getting on my little soapbox here and ranting and raving for a few minutes about something that has nothing to do with my new comic books. So, let me pose this to you fine viewers out there. If this is something that you would like if you would like to see me do on a semi-regular basis, just sort of an editorial or just give you my opinion on something, and bearing in mind that if I do something like this, it's just my opinion. Okay, I'm not doing this to attack anybody or insult anybody. Some of the words I use might be a little bit abrasive, but it's just my opinion. And I express my opinion in the way that I express my opinion. But it's not going to be to say, it's not going to be used to say, if you like Dan Slott, you're an idiot. How could you like that guy because, he politics this and social stupidity that. No, it's not going to be like that. I'll give you my opinion on something or someone, but with the caveat that you understand, it's just my opinion. We all have opinions, and we need to get back to the point where we can express our opinions without fear of being canceled or whatever. Cancel culture. We need to get back to being able to express our opinions and share our opinions without being fear of being canceled. As far as I'm concerned, this whole woke supremacy nonsense that's going on has no place here on my channel. Now, I know YouTube has final say. If they say, well, we don't like that you're saying this, even though it's your opinion and you're expressing it as an opinion, and that's the frame that you're putting around this discussion is it's your opinion. We don't like it. We're taking it down. They have final say. But, until I get shut down, I want us to get back to being able to express our opinions again. So if this is something you would like to see me do, just get up here for, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or however heck long it takes for me to kind of get my opinion out. I'll be happy to do it. I mean, I can rant and rave just like anybody else. I can go along with the best of them. So let me know if that's something you like to do. I may do a couple of test videos, I guess. I don't know if I can find a subject that I really want to talk about. This sort of stuff usually just comes off on the fly. There's no plan for it. There's no format. I have no format or anything like that. So that's it. All right, that's what I got. I'm going to wrap this up now because it's kind of going a little bit long. I got to get this uploaded because I got to do some cleaning. I'm going out of town this weekend with some friends. So everybody, have a great weekend. I hope your stack, your books, whatever you got this week, I hope it was a nice and healthy stack. Mine was kind of, I don't know, mine looks a little emaciated, but I hope your stack was nice and healthy. I hope you got a lot of great books. I hope you're enjoying your reads and having a good time this week and reading them. Take that time to get away from the insanity of the real world and recharge your batteries. That's what's important. That's what we need to start doing. So I'll see everybody next week with another haul, another review, and I promise I'll try to keep these soapbox moments to a minimum, and so I can get straight to the point in my comic books. So I see everybody next week. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope you have a good time. Enjoy your comic books. We'll see ya.